really good to hear because all the others are fine.
Well, the last 2 weeks have been better. But I'm feeling better. I had my epidural. That's why I wasn't here last week. The other week before that, I just couldn't.
We got everything out.
So,
You want
here I am.
to double check it.
Now, I'm going to be gone 8 to 6.
I didn't think they could do it.
Back on the 14th. Can I take it?
It's not one of the next requirements because we need more time.
Right.
There were some people that need to start.
Oh, okay. Well, I just love your
Yeah, I didn't either, but we got it out. So I signed yesterday.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's all I know.
I should have done that. I don't think about. I'm not quite sure what it's
And I don't see a sign up.
Okay, well, I sit up the stage. Okay. Yeah, it's gotta be very short. I just want to get what it's about. That way.
passing through, this door is open to you. Come and let's be silent. Come and share a hug. Come, let's pray together. Come love and be loved. From the blissed out to the turned out, from the pampered to the abused, this door is open to you. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. The God in us recognizes the God in you, the God in you. Whether you're black or white or gay or straight, Christian, Buddhist or Jew, this door is open to you.
Good morning, Claremont Center for Spiritual Living. How are you this morning? Beautiful today, isn't it? Just gorgeous. Well, I'm Reverend Tracy and delighted to have all of you here. We want to acknowledge our folks that are online too, so everybody wave. Yay, thank you for joining us. Whether it's today during service or later on, we're still happy you're here with us because we know that in consciousness there is no space, there is no time, there is simply this community, which is here to support and uplift us when we can't do it for ourselves, when we want to do it for each other, and just because it's fun. We're a pretty fun group, don't you think? I think we're a pretty, yeah, woohoo, exactly. Well, let's get started this morning. Let's start by telling you who's on platform with me. Our practitioner of the day is Reverend Drac Druella. The practitioners and ministers are your prayer support. So if you would like a little knowing of a greater truth because the details of your life seem to be getting in the way of you enjoying yourself or feeling your best, then the practitioners are the ones you want to talk to. And excuse me, if you come across something during the week, you can always leave us a confidential message on our phone line. There's an option for practitioners, and they will pick those messages up and take you into prayer. There's also a box in the back where you can submit a written request for yourself or someone else. You know, prayer is what we do here, and it's a way of reminding ourselves that there's always more to life than the peace we can see at the moment. And that peace that we see is never the whole story. So your practitioners and ministers are here to help you know the whole story. We also have some fabulous music. If you were here a little early, not that many of you come to church early, but if you did, you might have heard Tina Meeks warming up. And of course, we have the fabulous Jeff Harrison on keyboards. All right, we're going to start with a song. I'm going to invite you all to stand and sing along. You'll find the words in your bulletin. It's called Spirit is in This Place, and we're being led by the recording of Denise Rosier. All that joy and energy and turn within to get centered. So I'm going to invite you to clear off your laps and clear your minds. Take a breath, close your eyes, And let the sound of the bowl bring your attention within. For there is that within us, in that heart space, which knows love, which knows peace, which knows kindness, ever present as the spiritual truth of our being. And it is from this place that we remember that you and I and Spirit are one.
Knowing and the understanding that Spirit is in this place. And this place is many things. And one of the most miraculous things that it can be in, that we get to experience as a gift in everyday life, is that this Spirit is in each and every one of us, individually and collectively. This same strand of love, energy, this thing we call Spirit, is in and through all things. And with this understanding, I know it's in me. Some days I might forget, but the honest truth is it's always there, just waiting for me to recognize it and know it's there and feel it and experience it consciously. So with this understanding, I know that this Spirit is in this room right now in each and every one of us, that it is in every moment we're going to share here today and are sharing now. Whether it's the past, the present, or future, it is all wrapped around that, integrated into all of it. Present, here and now. And we are grateful for this gift that is every day and in every moment. We are grateful to acknowledge it and remember it within us. So we release this understanding through my words that you can hear right now, through our understanding in our mind. We release it out into this reality that we know so well, knowing that it is true, and all is well. So it is. Yeah. So, the readings that I picked today are focused on love, because in the affirmation, I really liked it. It said, the last part is that I navigate life as love in action. And it also talked about choosing spiritual principles. So that's kind of what this is about. I let that guide me. The first one is very short, and I love it. It's by Teilhard de Chardin. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's more French the way I'm saying it probably, but it says, love is the cosmic allurement of everything towards everything. I'll read that again. I love it. Love is the cosmic allurement of everything towards everything. Everything is drawn to that. And Richard Rohr says, this love ethic must be at the center of our whole life, or it cannot be effective or real in the crucial moments of conflict. We have to practice drawing our lives from this new source with a capital S, in thought, word, emotion, and deed, every day, or we will never be prepared for the major confrontations or the surprise humiliations that will come our way. I like that. And then Todd Michael, the author of The 12 Conditions of a Miracle, says this. How do you feel about others who appear around you as you travel through your life? If you seriously intend to see your dream become reality, then you will need to intentionally cultivate automatic reflexes of genuine compassion. You will have to change your attitudes and reactions, however subtle, from judgment and condemnation to selfless compassion and love if you hope to manifest a miracle. Think of it this way. Although it may sound odd, selflessness is in your own self-interest. I love that. When you begin to put the welfare of others ahead of your own dreams will begin to advance with incredible efficiency. It's very true. And there's one last one. This is written by the author Roger Teal in his book, This Life is Joy. The love that is God is an ember in each of us that will never go out. It awaits the surrendering of aggressive forcing, the releasing of fear and neediness, along with the fresh air of the open heart, so that it may be kindled into an amazing energy for good. Yeah. That last one was like poetry. Tina Meeks, please come up. Yeah, thank you so much.
Shall I say hello, good morning? It's great to be back. I've missed you all. But I wanted very much to encourage all of us to stay in a state of love and respect for each other today. Thank you for that amazing reading. All right, Jeffrey, take it away. You can play the game, you can act out the part, though you know it wasn't written for you. Tell me how you stand there with your broken heart, ashamed of playing the fool. Well, one thing can lead to another. It doesn't take any sacrifice. Father and mother, sister and brother, feels nice, don't think twice. Just shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Do as I say, you shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. You can run, but you cannot hide. This is widely known. Now what you plan to do with your foolish pride when you're all by yourself alone? Once you tell somebody how you feel it beginning to ease. I think it's true what they say about that squeaky wheel, always getting the grease. Better to shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Gotta shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out better if you only will. Yeah, 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 yeah. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Oh, things are gonna work out better if you only will. You gotta hold out your hand, tell somebody you love them. Oh, tell them you love them. Yeah, yeah, it's all about love. That's why you gotta do it. It's gonna work out better if you will.
Oh, power in the house today. Yeah, thank you, Tina. So we're going to light our candle today for the first day of spring, which was a couple days ago. Not that we were waiting for it or anything. Of course, then I hear it's going to be like 90 this next couple of days. So, woo! What I know about spring is that it is the outer picturing of what we internally carry, which is that there is something growing, whether we see it or not, and we begin to see a little bit of what might be coming, what might bloom, what might blossom, whether it's within ourselves, whether it's in our kids, maybe it's in a project, maybe it's just the outside world, that there is always this environment that produces new growth. And some of us are not so great gardeners in the material world. Our plants wish we could do better. Some of us, look at a plant and it just goes. But within us is the capacity to create, to grow, to become, and to nurture life around us. And so first day of spring is our outside reminder that within us is that ability to nurture what wishes to bloom. And for that, I'm grateful. All right, so once a quarter, there are 5 weeks in a month. And I'm grateful because we do what we love to do. You keep telling me you love it, and I keep believing you. So what we're doing today is pick a page. So pick a page is an opportunity to take random quotes or readings that you call out random numbers, and I find them in the material, and we say them, and then I help us understand them according to spiritual principle. Because the truth is, what we talk about on Sundays is great, but if you can't use it on a Wednesday, what good is it? If you don't make that connection with what's going on in the material world, with that heart of hearts within you, then we're missing out. So, not to mention, some people who write spiritual things are very convoluted in the way they express them, and I love to translate. So, here are our choices today. We have Ernest Holmes is number 1, the philosophy of Ernest Holmes. We have your other favorite guy to just read for fun, Thomas Troward, as number 2. He was someone who influenced Ernest Holmes, so he's part of our history. However, because of when he wrote and the fact that he used to be a lawyer, what does that tell you? It's not always easy to understand, and yet they're the very ideas that we teach. So 1 and 2, Holmes and Troward. Number 3 is Edward Viljoen. He is the minister at the Santa Rosa Church, considered one of the elders of Science of Mind teaching. He was our spiritual leader formerly. He wrote a book called Ordinary Goodness. And then I have 2 other things. I have an essay, which is number 4, called Saying Thank You. And there are paragraphs within that which I'll read. And then I have essays which may or may not sound spiritual to start with, where we try to figure out what is the principle being called for here. That's number 5. So 1 through 5, and then we'll pick pages within those books. So somebody give me a number from 1 to 5. 4. Okay, I heard 4. Stop it. We'll get to all of them. One of these is about patience, I think. I'm not sure. All right, so in section 4, you have a choice of A to G. A. Some days I think I'm gratitude impaired. I'm embarrassed to say that I don't usually do thankful very well. It isn't that somewhere deep within me I don't truly appreciate the abundance in my life. I like to think I do. It's just that I'm often so busy being outraged by the failing state of the planet that I get preoccupied, with being outraged. Resonate for anybody? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, my job is to read your minds during the week and then come speak to you about those things you've been thinking. So what we know from Science of Mind teaching is that gratitude is causative. In other words, that feeling of thankfulness, that willingness to be grateful and appreciate something causes it to grow. And if we are not consciously practicing gratitude, or if we are overwhelmed by what's coming at us that all seems negative, whether it's personal or political or just out in the world or the planet, or pick a topic, right? If we're overwhelmed by the world, it can be really hard to find something to appreciate about it. Yet, when we do that, when we find that seed of growth, when we find that one thing about that crazy person in our family that we actually do appreciate, when we can find that, what happens is we give our attention to it. And what we give our attention to grows and expands. So it is in our own best interest, even when we are in the midst of outrage, to pause and reflect on what is there for us. So whether I'm learning what I don't want to be, whether I'm getting clear on what my calling is to be a positive force in the world, whether I'm understanding that I don't want to contribute to the constant family argument dynamic anymore, those are all things that are part of growth and understanding and expansion. So we can be gratitude impaired, but if we're aware of it, we can turn the tide. We can choose to be grateful. We can choose to find something to be grateful for. And there is always something to be grateful for. And that will, in fact, move us through and out and allow us to be contributors rather than victims. Okay. 5. That was quick. All right, you have a choice of 1 to 6. 5. Okay. This is from Notes in the Universe. Have you ever wondered why most people have less trouble with walking and not falling, talking and making perfect sense, and breathing without stopping than they do with dieting, finding love, or getting rich? It's because with walking, talking, and breathing, which incidentally are far more complex than the latter, they engage the magic with intent and expectation. Lean into them, and then with faith, they turn the rest over to me, being the universe. So we have these very complex activities of life that we do virtually without thinking. We walk, we talk, most of us make sense most of the time, and we breathe, most of us without stopping. But when we try to do something that we don't quite trust, we don't quite believe, we're not sure it's really for us, so it's dieting or finding love or getting rich or taking that trip or putting money in the bank or whatever your desire is, we have trouble. And the difference is what you do with intent and expectation. So if I expect my efforts to produce a certain result, those are probably the results I'm going to see. But if I set out to do something I'm not quite sure of, or I'm not sure of myself, I'm going to get the not sure part as my result, rather than the absolute belief that if I intend to walk to the door, I will walk there. Now, that doesn't mean I haven't fallen flat on my face, because I have. But the trend of our thinking, the intention of our heart, when we are consciously aware of both of those things, we are actually steering the ship in a certain direction, the direction that we want to go in. And when we can do that with a sense of trust, we will see the results we want until it becomes habit. I mean, think of something that maybe you used to do, or any former smokers? Okay, so you don't smoke now. I'm sure the process of transition was a process. But at this point in time, that reaching for the cigarette is no longer the automatic response. How does that happen? It happens because it was replaced with a different intention and an expectation that you could live your life without smoking, until it becomes part of who you are. So anything we want in life can be part of who we are, as long as we are practicing intention and expectation, because that's what builds faith. Faith is simply trust that it's true, and trusting that it's true for you. Okay? 1 through 5.
3.
All right. I need a page number.
27.
Sorry? Say it again.
27.
27.
That's what I was thinking.
Was it? That's good. You're just like right in line there. This is Edward Villiers. Let's see. Of course, it's the middle of a story. One moment, please, while I find a starting point. Okay, I'll just read you the story. I was waiting on the pier for the ferry to return day visitors back from Catalina to the California mainland. Before me was a little slice of paradise. There they were, all those coral-loving fish in the beautiful clear water, close enough to the surface to be seen. Then I spotted a potential offender, a man leaning on the same railing, smoking. That was an accident that was my example. Well, actually, it was a God thing. In my mind, I imagined how the scene would play out, and he obliged. He approached the end of his smoke, and as I had predicted, he threw the still smoking butt into the ocean. My mind flipped back and forth between intruding on someone else's life and advocating for nature. I was ready to let an outraged and indignant response burst out in a loud voice. "Hey, you, what do you think you're doing?" I was going to say. I rehearsed my reprimand. How many times have we rehearsed a reprimand in our minds? For a few seconds before speaking, and I hesitated because I understood that an already problematic situation was possibly going to get even worse when I acted out of integrity with my stated claim that I was a kind-hearted person. I felt pressure to come up with something to say that was kind and also addressed the perceived wrongdoing. I did not want to avoid my responsibility. I did not wish to act out of integrity with my newfound value of kindness. I took another microsecond to examine if my planned response matched how I wanted people to know me in the world. I asked myself what might be the most beautiful way to address what had happened. My preference to disturb no one was butting up against my inclination to take a stand for the environment. I took yet another microsecond to think of the dramatic and powerful illustration when Jesus met with the people at the city gates where they were about to stone to death the woman who committed adultery, and he said to them, "Let the one among you without sin cast the first stone." I refer to this piece of wisdom frequently to temper my indignation, not to relieve me of the obligation to speak, but to prompt me to consider situations in which I act the same way as those I am accusing. In this way, my activism is enhanced because I get to see myself as part of the situation, not apart from it. This softening of my perspective doesn't weaken my position. Rather, it opens doors to conversations that are closed when using a more accusing approach. But that day, the Jesus story wasn't soothing my ire. I was feeling outraged, and my outrage was guiding me to scold the litterbug harshly. This deep internal process I was in lasted mere seconds. And while I was in it, somebody else next to the man leaned over and with a smile whispered to the butt-flinging tourist, "Oh, the fish can't eat that. It's harmful to them." Because there was something genuinely kind in the smile, the comment seemed more like a private conspiracy between friends than a stern reprimand. Had I not been standing so close, I might have missed the private exchange. The smoker nodded sheepishly, looked around to see who had heard the words, and mumbled, "You're right." The kindly rebuker probably achieved much more than I ever would have if I had let my anger and frustration flare up and cast the first stone. Well, if that isn't a situation for modern day life. Yeah. The process is what we do consciously when we hold ourselves back for just a second and choose a response rather than reacting. And we all know that when we are in reaction or someone else is in reaction, things escalate, right? That's generally how it goes. Because remember, our ego, which is the reactor, its first job is to protect you, to keep you safe, to do the right thing, to be seen as doing the right thing. So when we pause and go through that process of, you don't have to ask yourself necessarily, what would Jesus do? But you could start with love. You could start with kindness. You could start with, how does this fit with my value of who I want to be in the world, how I want to show up? What's mine to say, what's not mine to say? What you're doing is not only leaving yourself room for a broader, higher perspective-related response, you're also allowing for something else to come forth. You're allowing that other person to speak, or that person that you see as wrong as having an opportunity to change their mind or respond. It's not, I like what he said, it's not that our moment of consideration weakens us. It doesn't take us away from acting in integrity. It allows us to act in integrity with our core values intact. And if our value is kindness and compassion and giving and being part of the solution and bringing light to a situation, we're going to say things like, oh, the fish can't eat that. And the message is clear, but the message is not harmful. The message is not malicious. It doesn't come from our irritation and aggravation. It's okay to be aggravated, but decide how you want to use it. Where do you want that energy to go? How do you want to show up in the world? Okay. 1 through 5. 1. Page number 72, which is the flip of 27. Not that I see patterns or anything, but
I didn't even think about it being a flip.
of course not. It's a God thing, once again. All right, let's see what we're talking about here. Da-da-da-da. Why are we talking about this? Okay, we'll start at the bottom of the page. Emerson said, imitation is suicide. No two persons are ever alike or need be or could be if they tried. If there were two people alike, one would be unnecessary in the creative process and wouldn't be here at all. Therefore, Emerson said that there is a place where everyone may let out his reins to the full extent, but he's afraid to do it. So there's a unique presentation in each one of us, Holmes says, if we would listen to it. Emerson said, listen greatly to yourself. Keep up this lowly listening. Our Bible says, be still and know. It all means the same thing. There is then within each one of us a God though in the germ. In other words, it's a seed, it's not full blown yet. I don't think this is an opinion. To me, it isn't just a poetical something. It is beautiful, inspiring, and God-given. Life has made it this way. You and I can't change it. We can only accept what is. Though we appear to reject it and throw it out the front door, it will come in the back door. It will always be there by a persistency that is completely irresistible, by a non-resistance that nothing can resist, and a non-violence that nothing can violate. You be you. That's what that says. You be you. There isn't anything else to be. And for anyone who's grown up and gone into a profession other than what their parents wanted them to do, or for anyone who has changed their mind mid-career and gone off and done something else and now they're really happy, anything that you do of your own heart, of your own desire is of the sire, of the Father, of the Spirit. When you follow your heart, you are presenting in the world as the creation you are meant to be, that you are needed for. You know, I can play a couple songs on the piano, left over from my early days of playing by ear, but I would not be Jeff if I tried to do that, because that's not mine to do. Apparently, talking is mine to do. It may not be for everybody. How many of you, your knees shake if you have to get up here and say something to people? Yeah, see? You notice Jeff doesn't speak, he just plays. Yeah. Yeah. So we have our own to do, and our job is to come to the realization that we can trust what is ours to do, and that is more than enough. In fact, it's exactly what's required of us. Okay, 1 through 5. 2. Troward. Page number, pick an easy one, please. 62. Oops. All right. The thing about Troward is that those pages are like 4 sentences total. So I'll find one. One moment, please. Yes. He's actually quite fascinating. It just takes a little bit. All right, let's see. All right, wherever, therefore, we find beauty, capital B, we may infer an enormous reserve of power behind it. In fact, we may look upon it as the visible expression of the great truth that life power is infinite. And when the inner meaning of beauty is thus revealed to us and we learn to know it as the very fullness and overflowing of power, we shall find that we have gained a new standard for the guidance of our own lives. We must begin to use this wonderful process which we have learned from nature. Having learned how nature works, how God works, we must begin to work in like manner and never consider any work complete until we have carried it to some final outcome of beauty, whether material, intellectual, or spiritual. Is my intention good? That is the initial question, for the intention determines the nature of the essence in everything. What is the most beautiful form in which I can express the good I intend? This is the ultimate question, for the true beauty which our work expresses is the measure of the power, intelligence, and love, in a word, of the quantity and quality of our own life which we have put into it. True beauty, mind you, that which is beautiful because it most perfectly expresses the original idea, not a mere ornamentation occupying our thoughts as a thing apart from the use intended. What I'm hearing in this is that it's not done until we ourselves can see the beauty in what has been created, or what has been said, or what has been felt. That sense of chaos and being stirred up and not being able to settle, or to see something and see only confusion and despair. Anytime we're not yet seeing the beauty, we have not yet tapped into the infinite power of life behind it. Because truth is, our human senses are limited in how we interpret what we see. I know you can think of situations where it looked really bad and it turned out perfectly. You know, the job you didn't get and then the job you did, right? The class you couldn't get into and then the class you did. The story of the Russian young man who broke his leg and how terrible that was, except then the conscription guys came through and he didn't get picked for the army and that was so good. And you know, what's good, what's bad, it changes all the time. What Troward is saying is the ability to see and appreciate beauty also is what allows you to see and appreciate the power of the creative process of life. Because all of life is beautiful if we but have eyes to see. So it is a way of looking at the world, and it is a way of measuring your own sense of completion. You know, when you write that song that says it just right, when you sing that song that says it just right, when you have that conversation that you were dreading and you walk away going, oh, that worked out really well, right? Beauty is a marker, and it's also the light of spirit shining through. Okay? 1 through 5. 4. A through G, except not A. B through G. Somebody besides Grant's awake out there, right? Just checking. Just checking. Were you? Well, that's good, because apparently Grant and Shelley have and Patrick have ideas, so all of you feel free to join in anytime. Okay. C, is that what we said? We often talk about hope, but first we need to talk about gratitude, because it is the rich soil where the hopeful things grow. It is a prerequisite for the kind of people we want to be and the kind of work we want to do in the world. Hope is, by its very nature, aspirational. It's a propellant forward toward a time and place where something is better than it is in this moment, where some of the wrong is made right. It's a viewing of something just beyond the horizon. Gratitude, however, is something we can hold in this moment. It is present focused, savoring this breath, appreciating this version of life, celebrating this day. Gratitude sits with contentment in today, and it dwells on what's already good here. This is invaluable, because when things get as messed up as they are right now, he didn't say messed up, but you get the idea. The most difficult place to be and to be grateful is the intersection of here and now. And we can't afford to miss that. We need to find gratitude in the second we're standing in because it leads us to the next step. Right? We all know that what happens with overwhelm is most of us freeze. If there's too much to do or we try to take on too much, nothing happens, right? We just don't do anything. Or we spin around in circles and are completely ineffectual. But if we can hold something in this moment, be grateful for something in this moment, then the next step shows itself, which leads us to that which we hope for. Again, gratitude makes things happen. It is causative. So our choosing to pause in the moment allows us to see where we're going, where we want to be, allows us to hear what our hearts wants us to hear. So tell me something, what you're grateful for right this minute. Anybody? Health. What else? Jeff, what was that? When I'm here. Okay, appreciate that.
A lovely day.
A lovely day.
Family.
Friends. Yeah. That puts you right here, doesn't it? And all of you, even if you weren't saying anything, all of you started to smile. There's your energy right there. That's the energy that allows us to take the next step, whatever that may be. Okay, 1 through 5. 1. Page number 53. All right, Ernest Holmes. Okay, this is a good Holmes convoluted sentence. In the beginning of this creation, there is an involutionary thrust. It is the time when the plant was in the seed before the seed was in the ground. Stop laughing in the front row. The oak tree was in the acorn, the chicken in the egg. And the answer to prayer is in the prayer when it is prayed rightly. It would have to be, or the universe would blow up and burst right open. I'm not sure why he said that, but that's Holmes. And not because it's the petition of somebody who needs bread and butter. This has nothing to do with it. The infinite has no need other than the necessity to express itself. Okay, I'm going to say a little bit about, I was looking to see if there was anything that was going to add to that. This idea that the plant's already in the seed before the seed is planted, and the oak is already in the acorn. The idea that the fulfillment of the promise is already present before anything looks like it's happening. Well, if you think about that, that's actually quite comforting. There are many times in life where we look around and think nothing's happening. Well, I sent off my application, haven't heard, it's been 3 weeks, been 3 months. Right? Nothing's happening until it does. Because the answer is within the question. The plant is within the seed. What else did he say? The chicken is within the egg. The acorn, the oak. Yeah, you get the whole metaphor thing, right? So if you're asking a question, there is an answer. It's already within the question itself. Because that is the creative process, right? Something coming from the invisible into form. So your question is an idea, which will then come into form. So ask the right questions. Okay, got out of that one. What else you got? Pick another one, quick. 3. Page number 14. The chapter is titled, I Don't Know What to Do. I'm just making sure it's a very long story. Okay, another page. It's because it's like a 3-page story, and we're getting close to time. So let's try one more. Pick another page. 20. All right, we'll try 20. All right, let's see. Khalil Gibran's words in The Prophet remind me that freedom comes not when we are finally without cares, but when we rise and break the chains that bind us despite the cares that girdle our lives. Ogmandinos, the God Memorandum, puts into words the secret that was whispered to us upon our birth, that we are each unique and miraculous, and has picked me up and set me back on my feet to face the world renewed many times. I think the cultural idea that everything has to be fixed before we can relax is what causes us sometimes not to move forward, or to feel that we have to do more in order to earn our rest, or we have to do more because there's more to do. The spiritual secret is it's never done. I don't know if you've noticed that in your life. It's never all done. You never get completely caught up. That's not the nature of life. It's kind of like asking the wrong question. How do I get caught up? You don't. It's more like, how do I continue to be creative and live my best life and be the best person I can be within the environment I find myself? How is me being me going to lift up what seems to be weighing everyone down? How are my words going to bring light to a situation or love to a situation that appears to be restricted and constricted? So we're called upon to show up. We're called upon to be ourselves without question. Not to say we don't want to be better, or we could do things better, or there are things we probably would have been better off not saying. Doesn't mean don't be aware. But you can trust yourself to show up well when you are following your heart, when you are moving with kindness, when you are remembering that your essence is love. That changes how we are in the world. All right, so I'm going to pick the last one. There's a direct tether running between our sense of peace in the present and our ability to be grateful. The former can't be reached without the latter, and we know this because we experience it physically on an almost cellular level. When stress and anxiety come, our breathing gets shallow and labored, our heart rates rise, we struggle to get enough oxygen to properly fuel us. And this isn't just when opening Twitter. That's what it says. It isn't until we intentionally slow ourselves that our lungs can expand and contract fully and our breath returns to normal. Everybody take a deep breath. Was that deeper than the breath you took just before? Yeah. Awareness helps. Maybe that's a good way to think of gratitude as we engage a world where there's so much to be overwhelmed by, so much that can make us internally turbulent. It's as fundamental as breathing. When we're able to notice and celebrate the beauty and blessings in the present, a new, healthy normalcy comes. Like the inhale and exhale of our lungs, the more we practice gratitude, the more it becomes second nature, the more alive we feel. There is nothing more pressing or urgent or important than being both present for your life currently in progress and having gratitude for it. This will make you more available to people who are suffering, not less. So while the work of resisting injustice, of protecting diversity, of demanding equality has never been more necessary or urgent, while we spend ourselves on behalf of these things, we need to make sure that we don't miss life happening right in front of us. In days like this, living well isn't just the best revenge, it's also the greatest resistance. Be grateful today for the sun on your face, the wind through your hair, even the tears in your eyes and the pain in your body. It's all beautiful, none of it is insignificant, and it all merits gratitude. Namaste. Let's take a moment and center in prayer. Breathing in and breathing out. Feeling that very action of life in this moment, right here, right now, and being grateful for it. Grateful to be alive. Grateful to be present. Grateful to be aware of that which is beautiful. For truly, this life that we are, this life that we live, this life that we create is one of beauty and peace and joy. It is a life of wisdom and clarity and divine right action. This is the truth of who we are. We are children of the Most High, that which encompasses all of life, that which knows only enough, only beauty, only love. And so I call forth the expression of this love in each unique fashion from every individual alive. That knowing our love allows us to show up in life as that love, uniquely as ourselves. How grateful I am for the gifts of others, for the words of others that lead me to a greater understanding of myself. How grateful I am for the opinions and the clarifications and the intelligence and understanding of others that heighten my own awareness that life is good. How good it is to call forth that which heals what is broken. To recognize that all things are for us, for our learning, for our growth, for our transcendence, for our use, for the good of all. And truly, we are here for the good of all. I'm grateful for the gift of life in all of its many forms, with all of its many faces. I am grateful for the ability to choose my own responses, to show up in alignment with the values I hold dear. I am grateful for the love that is the very heart of each and every one of us. For love heals. And I release this word, this affirmation, into the consciousness of the one mind, the one power, the one life that is. For I know that in time and in space it unfolds perfectly as I believe. So trusting in this creative process, trusting in the love that is the truth of life, I simply let it be, and so it is. If you'll join me in our affirmation, which you'll find in your bulletin. Before we say it, I want to say a word. When I first started writing for this week, where I think I'm going on a Sunday morning is not always where we end up on a Sunday morning. So the original topic was navigating by the stars. So there was not a single quote in here about navigating by the stars. However, the affirmation is about navigating. We are choosing a spiritual principle as that guiding star. So if you'll repeat after me and just go with me here. I choose spiritual principle as my guiding star. I navigate life as love in action. And so it is. And let's have Tina Meeks back up. Let's shower her with love.
Happy about that. Okay. We're getting a little groove here with something that you know. And you're going to take from it what you take from it, hopefully. Take it home.
Take it home.
You know it? If you disrespect anybody that you run into, how in the world do you think anybody's gonna respect you? You don't give a heck about the man with the Bible in his hand.
Okay, what are we going to do with all that energy? We got to do something good. Yeah, woo! Thank you, Tina and Jeff. That was just fabulous. Just really fun to have you back. Thank you. All right, let's take a moment and turn some of that energy into contribution. I invite our ushers to come forward. If you are here for your first time, please know that your presence here is a present to us. We're happy to have you wherever you are on your spiritual path. For those of us that are in this community and of this community, we know that what we give comes back to us in many forms. And to express our appreciation and gratitude, we say together our prosperity affirmation. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. Thank you. All right, we have more than a few things happening, which is lovely. I was thinking the other day, someone had posted on Facebook about remembering that 5 years ago in March was the last day we gathered in community because of COVID. And so people were sharing stories of what it had been like to have that last Sunday morning and then not see each other for a year. And I told the story of walking back into the sanctuary, and the program on the podium was from March 15th or whatever that Sunday was. Yeah, from that year. And it was just, breathtaking. Think about how far we've come, how far we have not come, where we thought we'd be, where we are. And, there's good and bad on both sides of that scale, but the truth is we move through the most amazing things. So I'm really grateful to have many things going on because it says something about the health of this community. We don't look the same as we did then, and yet the energy of love and learning and expansion is very much present because that is still truly who we are as a community. So it is a time for celebration and acknowledgement. So Wednesday night meditation at 6:30 is online. There's a link in our announcements. Yeah, the e-blast, that's the word I want. There's a link in the e-blast. There's also a link on our website. And oh, by the way, have you seen the new website? Have you been out there and looked? It's way pretty. It's way pretty, and we're putting processes in place to keep it updated, to have our current activities, to have our pictures of fun things we do, all kinds of stuff going on. So I encourage you, it's, in case you haven't been out there a while, it's Claremont CSL, Center for Spiritual Living, get it? ClaremontCSL.org. Check us out, see what you think. If you want to see something on the website that's not there, send me an email, let me know. It's a work in progress. There will be more things added to it, but right now it's looking pretty darn good. So I think my letter about COVID is finally off the website. It was out there for kind of a long time. We kind of weren't really keeping it up to date there for a while, so we're better. All right, couple other things coming up. April 5th, which is a Saturday, will be a celebration of life for Tom Breen. So it will be live streamed. And the request is to wear a hat. Tom loved hats. Mary says he has like 50 hats. So wear a hat. April 5th, 1 o'clock in the sanctuary will be his celebration of life. So there is a little flyer in the back if you want to take it with you to remind to save the date, and we'll see you on Saturday the 5th. I want to take a moment and invite Reverend David to come up and talk to us about his Achieving Your Dreams workshop, which is next Sunday after service. Come on up. There's your flyer. In case you want to do show and tell.
I'll just do from here. I think I have a phone voice. Can you all hear me? Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I wanna invite all of you, if you come to my workshop. And I just want to give you an idea of what it's going to be about and what you're going to learn. But first of all, before I start, I want to let you know, this is the greatest day of my life. And the honest truth to that is, because I'm in a better place in my life, in my mind, than I've ever been in all my life. And that is what I want to share with all of you, how to accomplish that. Because what is anything better than enjoying life? Isn't that what we're here for? Believe it or not. Okay. My workshop is going to be focused on, you know how we have conditions going on in our lives, the economy, this and that, we have problems, health issues, we have problems sometimes within our families, relationships. We got all these conditions going on. The whole purpose of my workshop is to give you two basic, simple concepts. It's how you can create the conditions in your life. Create whatever conditions that you want to create. I'm going to give you two very basic, simple concepts that you can use, and you'll see that they will begin to create whatever experiences you want to create in your own personal life. That is my whole purpose and goal of the workshop. And remember, the workshop is free, other than just donations, and the donations don't go to me, they go to the church, okay? So I want to invite you next week. It'll be right after the service, 12 o'clock. And you're going to be over here in the Holmes Hall. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There's a flyer in the back on the back table, if you want to take one with you to remind you that you're going to eat lots of snacks before you go to the workshop, because we want you alert and awake, okay? So maybe we have a couple extra snacks next week, just, keep people energized. But yeah, 12 o'clock in the hall next door. Should be great. Thank you, David. All right, we also have a class starting in 2 weeks on Sunday, April 6th after service. Now, it says 12:30 to 2:30. I'd be happy to start at 12, just because, the minister tips over at about 3, so it's good if we finish class before the minister tips over. It's a class called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. It is specifically about how to use spiritual principle in your life. We're talking about abundance and prosperity. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about well-being. It's only 6 weeks. We'll skip Easter Sunday because you probably all have plans. And you don't need a book. You just need something to write with. Everything else will be provided. It's really just about exploring the idea of how you can up-level your own life over a period of a few weeks with people who also want to do the same thing. And it's also a great way to get to know each other a little bit better in a smaller group. So again, those of you that have had class before, raise your hands. Your life is better when you're in class, yes? Yes. So if you're signed up for this one, make sure you show up, okay? Because your life will be better, I promise. I promise. I haven't lost one yet. All right, we have, speaking of Easter, candy. We love candy. You like to give it, you like to eat it. You know the rule when you order from C's is one for them and one for me. And one for them, and dark chocolate for me. And don't give it to Jeff. If you want to give it to Jeff and he doesn't like it, you can give it to me. So there's a great selection. It goes beyond what's on the flyer. If you want your friends to order, you can make a list and take the money and we'll send it in. Or you can just give them the QR code that's online or in our e-blast or on the other flyer, and they can order it themselves and it'll come right to them. No delivery required. But I posted it on my Facebook page, so when we got our taxes done on Friday, my tax lady said, "Oh, I ordered candy from you." It's like, awesome! I didn't even think to ask her, but she took care of that for herself. So if you let people know, they can go online. There's a link, takes you directly to our page. The buyers do not pay any more than they would in the store. The difference is that some of the profit from those sales comes directly back to us. So, yeah, shipping is $6.95. So, yeah, it's not too bad, really. Yeah, they can order too. You don't have to be local. Florida, because See's Candy is not all over the whole United States. This is something, when I used to travel for work, I used to take it with me. It's like, you've never tried See's Candy before. You're going to like this. So, yeah, tell your friends. And I will tell you that if you buy a pound or a 2-pound box, 50% of the price comes back to us directly. See's does a lot to make sure that their fundraisers really do help fundraise for the organizations that are supporting it. So, what's that? Oh, yeah, the whole idea is to do something with our lovely obstacle course of a parking lot. Smooth out a few bumps, fill in a few cracks, paint a few lines so you know where to park, people. The little nose in all around the tree like a little starburst, that's my favorite. There's this much shade. I got to be in it. Okay. So yes, it's a fundraiser for our grounds, and every little bit helps. And you like chocolate. You want some. Don't try to tell me you don't. Yeah, see? Well, I told you if you order now, you get it right away. You can order again before Easter.
I figure I can order some on April 4th, the deadline.
Yes, April 4th.
I won't eat that.
Maybe April 4th, the deadline. Yes, April 4th is the deadline. Lots of really good stuff. And if you don't like chocolate, there's always peanut brittle. Oh, yeah, see? Lollipops. When you buy the lollipops, you get a whole box. It's not like you're buying one lollipop. You buy a lollipop box, you get, how many are in it? A lot. 1.5 pounds. It's a whole lot of lollipops. Anyway, all right, so that's the big thing I wanted to make sure I said. And again, April 4th, which is in 2 weeks, a week and a half. So you have time to contact all your friends and get them on board. What else do we have? Next page. Oh, look. Yes, flowers. Chris McDowell donated the flowers today. It's springtime, people. It's springtime. Oh, there we go. We'll move that so you can see the flare there. Ooh, ah. All right, and you too can sign up to donate flowers for Sunday morning and then take them home when you go. Anything else? Am I missing anybody?
We have fundraisers coming up, so if you have any volunteers who want to join the committee.
Oh, we are putting together an event team.
I don't know yet, we're still in a working motion. Join the committee.
Yeah, you want to have ideas on, we've done, some of you were at the Starry Night dinner dance where we all dressed up ridiculously in armor and gowns and things, had a blast. We're open to ideas of what this might be, but we definitely want to have a fun evening, sell tickets, bring in people from outside, maybe coordinate with our goth friends, Marjani's group. They know how to do a party. There may be a little black lace involved, but they know how to do a party. And so the options are open. We need your help, though, because it's way more fun if there's a bunch of people deciding on decorations than poor Shelley out there all by herself doing it.
Sally or Shelley, if you're interested.
Sally or Shelley. I'm not doing this by myself. Yeah, Sally and Shelley are your coordinators, and those of you that like to party, this is your big chance to get your 2 cents in. All right, anything else? Think we're good? We went a little long today, folks, but hey, we're having a good time. So stand up, move to the sides, and let's sing our song.
Take a look at the person next to you and say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love that set you free. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We'll come together, we'll come together, we'll come together, in the name of love, every wall of life. Every dream and love,
Lay down over here.
Or just, you know what, just start putting it on the schedule. When Sean shows up, maybe go sit in there. It's about self-care. It's about self-care. I know you. I know you. And thank you for your beautiful construction work. I meant to say it from up front, but of course I forgot because we were at 11:45, but it's gorgeous.
I don't do it.
I know you don't. I know you don't, but I don't want it to go unnoticed because that's I don't know, that's a little better than that paper screen that always tipped me.
I you notice I'm getting I took a sample of the paint, says,
Yes.
this? It didn't quite, so that's the
Yeah.
difference up at the top.
Oh, okay, yeah, I barely see it though, because of where the lights are.
I don't know for what we did.
You know, at some point, I would actually like to paint that wall maybe a different color, just to bring your eye up there.
You mentioned that before.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Like even that deep blue, or maybe a softer version of that deep blue that we have on the welcome wall in the other room. If we did something that was shades lighter, but that same tone, because that is a really rich color, I think it would really kind of brighten it up there.
Well, I guess artwork is a good idea up there, but
Yeah.
those walls are kind of.
It's just kind of blank, and that's fine, but it's boring. And we're not going to do anything too fancy right this minute. Paint's cheap, so.
Okay, do you have enough to finish the artwork?
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah, we could put some kind of a person.
Yeah.
More orphans for your collection.
Oh.
We've got so many wires.
No, you do.
The
It's
world's
like, you
biggest
should
bundle of
just
wires.
start a wire collection.
That or just hang them all up lengthwise and then start making a rod, weave them
Oh,
across.
these are the cool ones to go from here to there.
Ones that go from
These
here
are
to
the
there.
short ones that are really handy.